Okay, so you're new to the hobby or you've been around for a while, but what you want to know is how to set amplifier gains on your stereo system. Now, there's a lot of complicated ways of doing this using different tools to get precision settings to maximize your amount of output before you start clipping. However, that's not what I'm talking about today. What I'm going to be talking about is how to set up a basic system with no tools, just using your ear and setting the gains. This is how I would do it, how I do it. The first thing I do is figure out which amplifier is the weakest link. So in most cases, it's usually going to be one of the mids and highs amps. Okay. So what you want to do is turn all the gains to all your amplifiers down all the way. Turn all the bass boost off. Turn all that stuff off. Turn your bass knob on your big bass amp. Turn it up. If you've got a bass knob that goes up in the front of the vehicle, turn that all the way up. Then get in there and turn the stereo all the way up to the point to where it starts to clip. If you don't know when it's clipping, when it starts to sound crappy, that's where you go back a little bit until it sounds clean. You find that number, you know where it's sounding clean at. If you use a O-scope or if you use a clip meter, that works. If you have to have the amps turned up some to hear it, whenever you turn the stereo up, you know on that stereo, you know about where it starts to sound crappy. Back it back down a click from that, and that's going to be your max volume level. Okay. So turn the amps all the way down, turn the gains all the way down, turn the bass knob all the way up, turn the bass boost off, all that stuff. Then turn the stereo all the way up to that point where I told you. Then take your weakest amplifier, whichever one is the least amount of power, and turn it up. And to keep turning it up until you get to start, you hear it to start distort a little bit. You hear a little bit of fuzziness. It ain't quite sounding right. Back it back down just a little bit, okay? So that it's clean again. That's your bass point. That's your baseline for your overall volume for your system. Then go to your next most powerful amplifier and turn it up. You may have started out with your tweeter amp or with one of your mids and highs amps. Whatever the case is, bring your next most powerful amplifier up until it starts to fuzz and starts to get dirty. Back it off. Now, if it's a little bit too loud based on your first amplifier, then back it back down some till it blends, till the sound blends the way you want it to between those two amplifiers. The first one is your hard limit. You can't go past that because that amplifier can't make any more volume. The second one comes up to match that one. So it's still got a little bit of headroom left on it, but it's cutting back on it to where it matches that first one. So it's the same blended output. Then you bring your most powerful amplifier, your biggest one up, until it blends with the first two. And you're golden. As long as you keep the volume below that point where you started on your stereo, you're always going to be good. You can turn your bass knob down, turn it up. It's going to always fall in that range where everything is clean. This is a really basic way to get your system sounding pretty good, balanced, and safe to crank it hard without blowing stuff up. There's a lot more complicated ways of doing this. There's a lot more tools and a lot more training to get things exactly right. But ultimately, this is how you can do it in the driveway. Get your system sounding like it belongs together, like the pieces all fit together. The music will be sounding nice and balanced, and everything will be sounding good. And usually you're going to be in pretty good shape like this. Guys, if you found this helpful, be sure and slap that subscribe button down below. Ring that bell. Share the video with people that you know are having trouble or struggling with this. It's not hard. You just got to use your head, follow some basic steps, and you can get through this without too much trouble. Hope it was helpful, guys. Peace.